Yeah, it's gone. On today's episode of Learning with Leo and Lucky's, we're going to talk about hurricane preparedness. If you're new to Florida, you should always have a hurricane preparedness list. And that includes not only for yourself, but for your pets as well. You'll want to make sure you have enough water for them. You might not have power. So if you don't have power, what are you going to do for refrigerated foods like a can once it's open, or if you are a frozen raw feeder? What if your pet gets out and doesn't have a tag? These are all things that you're going to want to do and think about on your list. So first we're going to talk about if your electricity is out. If your electricity is out and you're a raw feeder or you're a can feeder, think about doing some freeze-dried. The reason why the freeze-dried is great is you're going to be using water to reconstitute it, so it's going to give it the same texture as the canned food, but you don't have to refrigerate. Don't forget about a tag. So a couple years ago when Irma was threatening to come up our coast, the Saturday before it came, I literally spent the entire day in front of the tag machine because people didn't have tags for their pets. Don't wait until the last minute. We have regular aluminum, we've got fancy ones, but make sure it has your up-to-date information. If you are a snowbird, it doesn't help us if we have information to contact you in Ohio. Another thing that wouldn't be a bad idea to get is a first aid kit for your pet. We often have first aid kits for us, but we don't think about what's appropriate for them. So if you have this, I usually keep it in my car. That way I always have it when I need it. If you guys are having to evacuate and go to a shelter, you're not going to want to lug around a 27-pound bag. So make sure you have an extra small bag on hand. Shelters don't allow loose animals. You're going to need something to be able to contain them. A small plastic kennel like this if you're just transporting, but if you're going to be keeping them in there for any length of time, you want to make sure it's going to be comfortable for them. And while we're on the subject of crating your pet, every year there's a run on crates. Don't wait until the last minute to say, I need to get something to put my pet in. Make sure your dogs and cats are up to date on their shots. If you're going to a shelter, you are going to need a current vet record. Make sure you have current pictures of your pet, because God forbid we have anything that gets destroyed and you don't have the ability to actually have proof and claim your pet. You want to make sure that you have all of that in a nice secure spot. Now don't forget about your other critters. Small animals are going to need enough food and water. Birds, a small enough cage to be able to transport, and make sure you do a nice water change on your fish tanks before the hurricane comes. I hope that we don't need any of this information this year, but it is best to be prepared. So please make sure that you get yourself and your pets ready for hurricane season, and we hope to not have to use it, but you have to have it. Thank you very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.